Good morning. I'm Chad Lingmann, the AWS Games Tech Leader. I have the great privilege of working with our technical field teams, solutions architects, technical account managers, and professional services in support of games customers worldwide. It's my pleasure to speak with you today about our AWS Games Services and running games on AWS. Here's what we'll cover today: about AWS for games and solution areas, game development challenges, game backend and infrastructure, player acquisition, engagement, and monetization, game content creation, and AI for games, and then some key takeaways. At AWS for games, we talk to hundreds of games customers every year. And the input we get helps us in our solution area strategy. To highlight a few items, games have become bigger with multiplayer, multi-platform releases and regular updates expected from players. This is driving up development complexity costs. And studios are often distributed, with many leveraging other teams to help them build their game. They want tools that allow them to iterate and collaborate more efficiently with team members around the world, without the need to set up complex infrastructure. And generative AI has the potential to transform the games industry. And studios are carefully exploring these areas. It's both to drive operational improvements and efficiencies, and also in gameplay innovation. So we've aligned our AWS for Games model to match the game development lifecycle: build, run, and grow, enabling studios at each of these phases. From day one, we are here to help. Generative AI runs across all of these use cases, with a particular heavy focus in game content creation. We have support from build pipelines to version control to a secure and scalable launch experience. And finally, supporting your game growth with live services and analytics and personalization. Every game developer's journey is different. Some want to build from scratch, and others want to start with templates. And some prefer ready-to-use solutions. So let me walk you through how AWS supports each of these paths. For custom builders, we have AWS services. These are perfect for the teams who want to complete control and customization for what you're building. You can build exactly what you need using our comprehensive suite of services, and you have the full flexibility to collect, process, analyze, and act on your data. It's ideal for the unique requirements or for specialized architectures. Now, for the template starters, we have AWS solutions that are pre-built templates that you can deploy immediately. These are the working end-to-end solutions with tested configurations. They can be modified and customized as needed. Solutions can get you to market faster while keeping flexibility. Now, for buyers, we have AWS professional services and partners, and they have you covered. They're thoroughly vetted, partner-provided, specialized software services. The partner solutions pass our foundational technical review and are fully maintained and supported by our partners. Now, AWS ProServe can also help augment your workforce. So whichever path you choose, we provide technical documentation and architectural guidance. We have sample code and implementation support. And also AWS ProServe and GSI expertise when needed. You have easy access through the AWS Marketplace to these partner solutions. And the right choice for your company really depends on your team's technical expertise and the time to market needs that you have and the customization requirements that you may have. So remember, when you choose one of these options, you're not actually locked into it. You can choose a variety of these approaches for different technical needs, and many customers mix and match these options as their needs evolve. So thinking of the partners, here's a sample of our deep network. We have industry experts, global leaders, relevant partners for both technology and consulting worldwide. And I'm sure that you'll recognize many of these logos. Recently, we participated in a questionnaire with games industry analyst Omdia, where they asked all cloud providers about how they support game studios building in the cloud. AWS has again been named the leader in the Omdia Market Radar Cloud Platforms for Games that was published in July of 2025. This is the third year in a row that AWS has been recognized for offering the broadest suite of tools and services tailored for game development and live operations compared to all other cloud providers. The survey found that AWS currently dominates the cloud services market for games. Its widespread adoption stems from its strong reputation and the familiarity of many developers that they have with its tools and services. And despite its commanding position, AWS continues to push the boundaries, consistently innovating and expanding its already extensive suite of capabilities to maintain its leadership. Now let's discuss a little bit about cloud game development. Why use AWS for cloud game development? You can increase your productivity and your collaboration. We have the broadest set of services and solutions, support for those globally distributed teams, and we enable fully remote virtual studios, all while increasing developer productivity. We have flexible infrastructure and scaling, which gives you quick cloud development ramp-up. We have on-demand compute resources and virtually unlimited storage. You get programmatic management of your infrastructure and configurable guardrails and budgets. We also provide hybrid and remote capabilities. For example, you can burst to the cloud for critical workloads, and you can reduce local compute demands, all with secure remote access. We also offer something that we call the Cloud Game Development Toolkit, which is a modular, open-source collection of infrastructure as code templates that apply best practices for deploying game development infrastructure on AWS. It's designed to help game studios jumpstart the process of leveraging cloud for your key game development tasks, including version control and build pipelines. The Cloud Game Development Toolkit is made up of 3 components. So at the lowest level, we have our assets. These consist of small templates and runbooks that we use to help build or configure workloads. Next, we have our modules. These are the individual workloads, like Horde or Perforce. These are what you can deploy individually or as part of a larger architecture. And lastly, we have our samples. These are more complex templates which stitch together the modules and the native AWS services to deploy a more robust architecture, like your build pipeline. You can check it out here from this QR code. We work with many companies that are successful doing game development on AWS. Here are a few examples. Riot Games is all in on AWS and runs 3,000 builds per month. The Pokemon Company runs their Unity builds 400% faster on EC2 Mac compared to their previous build farm. Gearbox runs Perforce on AWS, giving distributed access to hundreds of gigabytes of source daily. So moving on to game backends and infrastructure. Let's discuss some of the industry trends and challenges that we're seeing in game backends and infrastructure, and how AWS is uniquely positioned to help. The industry has evolved dramatically. Today's games are bigger and richer than ever before, and we now have many long-lived live service games, where continuous content releases are not just expected, but essential. Look at games like Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto. They've set new standards for ongoing engagement through constant updates and cross-platform experiences. Game studios are wrestling with the complexity of the global backend, the deployment, and the headache of managing a highly variable player demand. One day you might have 1 million players, and the next day you might have 10 million players. So your infrastructure needs to handle that seamlessly. And in the pressure to support multiplayer platforms and maintain quality player experiences, and you can see why the back-end infrastructure has become so critical. Games need global infrastructure that can scale elastically based on player load. And every millisecond of latency matters, so your game servers need to be as close to your players as possible. And all of this needs to support the live services features and the sets that keep the players engaged. So the stakes are incredibly high. A single day of technical issues at launch, in particular, can doom an otherwise great game. That's why having the right infrastructure partner is crucial. So let's talk specifically how AWS is helping game companies overcome these challenges. AWS provides unmatched worldwide hosting coverage across our 31 regions worldwide. This extensive network of reinforced by 99 availability zones, ensuring high reliability for your game servers. But what really sets us apart for low-end game latency is our 33 local zones. These are strategically placed around the world to minimize latency. With EC2, you can scale up or down based on the player demand. Games running on AWS can handle massive launch day spikes and then scale back down during quieter periods. And you only pay for what you're using, optimizing the cost without compromising on performance. We also have purpose-built gaming services like Amazon Game servers. This isn't just a cloud service, it's specifically designed for your game server fleets. GameLift provides dedicated server capabilities, automatic scaling, and global fleet management. What does this mean for you? Significantly reduced development time, built-in security features, and cost optimization right out of the box. So beyond the services, we have partner-backed solutions as well. So we've cultivated an ecosystem of partners that have the ready-to-use offerings. They're all integrated and optimized, ready for use and deployment on AWS. These solutions provide specialized game features from multiplayer functionality to cross-platform capabilities. The advantage is faster implementation. The times that are proven where you can get solutions that can dramatically accelerate your time to market. So back to these purpose-built game services. Amazon Game Servers provides multiple options for hosting your game servers. First, we have the classic approach, using game servers where you pack your maximum amount of game sessions per server. The setup is simple, and it's also great for game migrations. And second, we now support containers directly in GameLift servers. You can upload your game server build as a container. It's fast, and each game server is isolated. It's also customizable via Docker file. And then finally, we have GameLift servers anywhere, which allows you to register your own compute. Leveraging existing infrastructure locations, it allows you to use all three of these in combination for deploying your fleet. Now, when the Respawn team was faced with the need to move from an on-premise to a modern cloud-based game server infrastructure, they utilized GameLift servers for their Apex Legends migration. After preparation and testing, from start to finish, the Apex Legends migration to GameLift servers was completed in only 10 days. The move generated minimal downtime and seamless integration for their backends. And I'll talk more about this afternoon in my breakout session in track 2. Another title you may have heard of, Squid Game Unleashed by Netflix Games, also launched on GameLift servers. This is a multiplayer battle royale game for up to 32 players. Netflix Games utilized GameLift servers and GameLift Anywhere to speed up the development and testing process, which allowed them and their engineers to focus on the game itself, helping them to build this entire multiplayer game out in less than 10 months. We'll also discuss more details about this in the afternoon breakout session. Before moving on from backends, I want to share with you our open source game backend solution. The solution is built with customization in mind. It covers the key building blocks and for an identity provider authentication and game engine integration which allows you to focus on developing the back-end features that really make your game stand out and unique. The identity component has been tested with simulated 2.5 million concurrent users, and the whole solution utilizes managed and in many places serverless components. The observability, for example, utilizes AWS X-Ray to provide you a distributed tracing solution, service map, and a holistic view of logs and metrics on what's happening in your game, all the way down to the code execution level. The solution comes with 2 sample back-end components that you can use to start your development. The first template is a container-based Node.js and a serverless Python. You can freely use any other programming languages of your choice for the rest of your backend. So let's discuss player acquisition, engagement, and monetization now. We group many of the most critical aspects of running a successful live service game today into player acquisition, engagement, and monetization. Live services games today live or die by their player acquisition, engagement, and monetization strategy. For example, we've seen a large shift towards free-to-play, which has changed how games generate revenue. Major players like Sony and Nintendo are exploring these new models. In-game advertising has become increasingly important. The key challenge, though, is balancing revenue generation with player experience. This balancing act creates challenges not just for infrastructure teams, but that our business and operations teams need to address as well. First, player acquisition needs to be cost-efficient. With rising user acquisition costs, studios need to find smarter ways to reach the right audiences while controlling spend. Then there's the challenge of engagement, keeping players not just playing, but actively involved and excited about your game. This requires creating personalized experiences that resonate with different players. Monetization is where it all comes together. Studios need to convert engaged players into paying customers through carefully balanced strategies, whether that's in-app purchases or ad-based revenue, and all while maintaining a positive player experience. And all of this needs to work seamlessly across multiple platforms while optimizing the revenue at every step. Let me show you how AWS helps with these specific challenges. So AWS helps games companies succeed across all 3 critical areas of player acquisition, engagement, and monetization. Let's start with smart player acquisition. We provide scalable global infrastructure that powers the industry's leading marketing solutions. Through our top acquisition partners, you get access to proven scalable strategies that can instantly reach players worldwide. This means you can optimize your user acquisition costs while targeting the right audiences effectively. And when it comes to player engagement, we offer advanced player lifecycle tools built on real-time data processing. This allows you to create truly personalized experiences and continuously optimize gameplay based on the player behavior. So the goal is to build those lasting relationships with your players with offerings that keep them coming back. And our tools help you understand your players better and deliver experiences that resonate with them. Finally, let's talk about the business growth. AWS powers the industry's most robust monetization platforms, handling complex transactions at scale. Whether you're implementing in-app purchases, ad-supported content, or other revenue models, our infrastructure ensures seamless processing. That's why we're trusted by the industry's leading monetization platforms in games worldwide. When it comes to player acquisition, engagement, and monetization, AWS has partnered with industry-leading solution providers. In personalization and experimentation, we work closely with Braze and Amplitude, for example. Braze excels in player engagement through sophisticated messaging campaigns, while Amplitude provides deep analytics to understand and optimize player behavior. In the community management space, we have PubNub delivering real-time communication services, and ToxMod ensuring safe player environments through AI-powered moderation. So for comprehensive analytics and data solutions, we've also partnered with industry leaders like Game Analytics, Snowflakes, and CleverTap. These partners help you make data-driven decisions about your players and your game's performance. So continuing on with game content creation. There are a variety of content creation challenges facing game developers today. As mentioned previously, the games industry has evolved, and games worldwide are now bigger and richer than ever before. Studios are under constant pressure to deliver fresh content to keep players engaged. Through live service operations, for example, this has created an urgent need for faster content creation methods, while carefully managing development timelines and risks. When we look at the specific challenges this creates, we see studios struggling to accelerate their content creation cycles while maintaining desired quality. AWS's game content creation solutions are designed to address these needs. With AWS, you can harness the power of generative AI to build your game. The generative AI stack offers performant, cost-effective infrastructure with secure and easy ways to build and scale games using a variety of foundation models. If we group all of our AWS offerings into 3 layers, the top layer here empowers everyone to use Gen AI with applications that leverage large language models and other foundation models. Amazon Q is a generative AI assistant that transforms how work gets done. Amazon Q Business is designed for business users. It can leverage your own data sets and train it on it, and content and systems, and use the generative AI to drive general workplace productivity securely to everyone in your organization. Q Developer is specifically designed for the software developers. It has the highest reported code acceptance rate of any coding assistant that suggests multi-line code, and you can train it on your code repository as well. So in the middle layer here, we have our Amazon Bedrock, which allows you to leverage an existing foundation model, customize it with your own data, and then leverage AWS security and features to build a generative AI application. And it's all as a managed service. And then at the bottom layer, you can see that we offer the most comprehensive set of tools and infrastructure to quickly and cost-effectively build your own LLMs and foundation models. It's why we built Amazon SageMaker, a managed end-to-end service for developers that's used for training models. Plus, we also have infrastructure in compute and specialized processors, Trainium and Inferentia. Applying the generative AI opportunity, we classify customers into 3 categories. So first, helping games customers create content to include in the game, where AI can enhance productivity of designers and developers at a game studio. And then next, we have in-game AI features, which is where players interact with as part of play. These need to scale to potentially support millions of concurrent, personalized player experiences. And finally, we support the game publishing activities, like content moderation, business intelligence, and community management. So how do we speed up game development? Q Developer can help you with faster code generation. We have solutions and partners for automated playtesting, for example. How do we create novel player experiences? Through solutions that create dynamic, personalized experiences that keep players engaged. Electronic Arts is an example of a customer that uses AWS to deliver consistent experiences across platforms that enhance player satisfaction. And how do we empower player creators? AWS partners provide scalable solutions for user-generated content moderation, secure collaboration platforms and analytics to measure community content impact, which allow a studio to support player creativity safely. Thinking about the future of agentic AI, there are many opportunities for use in games. From making automated recommendations for game server numbers based on utilization, game server placement based on latency analysis, to even making recommended changes in your compute instance sizes based on game server loads. Future agentic AI, where allowed, could automatically action data across all of these areas. Here are a selection of subscription and SaaS solutions from AWS and from our games-focused partners that you can subscribe to and start using today. Plus Music, for example, is an AWS customer and partner who have built an AI solution for generating music from games, either during development or in real time in response to player actions based on a library of licensed music. Plus Music was a licensing company for game developers before delving into AI. We also have automated playtesting, which is available from partners like Razer. While Crikey AI started as a game developer, an animation house, and have developed AI-driven animation generation, cataloging, and sequencing for human characters. And we'd be happy to introduce you to any of these partners. Just let your account team know. Here are a few examples of customers using AI on AWS to build and publish games. Huge Games uses Bedrock to test and integrate foundation models privately. Jam&T Studios trains their models utilized directly for player interaction in-game, all on AWS. Krafton has implemented real-time analytics using Amazon Bedrock to automatically identify moments of engagement and increase the immersive nature of the esports broadcasts. So be sure to check out the Krafton breakout session and learn more about their Gen AI work in Track 3 this afternoon. So what should we remember? AWS for Games gives you everything you need to build, run, and grow innovating gaming experiences. Our mission is to help every game developer build on AWS. And with over 16 years of experience supporting the largest games, including Fortnite, Roblox, and League of Legends, AWS has the most operational experience at the greatest scale of any cloud provider. We have over 300 AWS Games partners who offer the broadest and deepest set of purpose-built services, pre-built solutions that empower game developers to discover and select the best fit tools and game-specific experts to address your unique business needs and accelerate breakthrough gaming experiences. Launch day matters, and a failure on day one can be catastrophic for new games. AWS has the most operational experience at the greatest scale of any cloud provider and brings that 16 years of experience supporting large hit games every day. So extend the life of your game and keep innovating with services that help your players stay engaged longer. And AWS empowers studios to optimize player acquisition, retain engaged players, and drive monetization strategies that deepen your player relationships. And that's it. Now, as a reminder, be sure and come see me later on in Track 2. We'll have a more in-depth look at some of our AWS Games customers and how they're running on AWS. Thank you.